Doves are a rock band from Manchester, England. They were formed in 1998, broke up again in 2010, reformed again in 2018, and are still going at the time of recording. Actually, they were some of them were operating as a band called Sub from 1991 to 1998. So they kind of came out of the ashes of Sub. They have recorded 5 albums so far. Hi, my name's Dan, and this is a review of the last broadcast by Doves, uh, which is their second album, and it's my first time listening to it. So I'm coming to it fresh. I have reviewed a Doves album before, and I was, I kind of liked it, but not a huge amount. This one, if you look at the score, you'll realise I liked it more. It's one of those albums that defies description somewhat, or defies me describing it, maybe. Um, and I have to say that these albums like this are often albums that I enjoy listening to, but when I then come to trying to write a review for them, I can sometimes feel a little on the lost side. So I often go then to my two authorities, which are Acclaimed Music, which is where the list that I'm reviewing has come from, and Wikipedia, who are the infallible source of all information ever. Acclaimed Music have called this Brit pop and dream pop. My feeling about that is meh, not so sure about either of those really. I think dream pop, probably not. Wikipedia says indie rock, post Britpop, which I've never heard of. I didn't realise there was such a thing as post Britpop. Dream pop again. Oh, so they've got a neo psychedelia. So I think neo-psych might be the best label here. Um, and I try to avoid doing too much reference to other bands and other music and stuff, because doing that always depends on you knowing that for you to be able to understand it. But I, at a loss to do anything better here, I'm basically asking, what do you get if you cross the Stone Roses with Coldplay? You might get something like this. But actually, I think this is bigger and grander in some ways. So Coldplay have Coldplay and other bands of that ilk. Coldplay seem to me to typify a particular sound. And they have particular musical elements that became quite popular. And if I was to put my finger on a bit of it, it would be very short, repeated arpeggio style riffs that are in the something like that, or slower. And a fairly open backing sound, which has quite a bit of a feel of space to it. And then this singing that kind of cuts through, which is fairly strident. So this has the similar kind of singing style, and it's got some of these elements, but then it's got other stuff as well, um, and sometimes at the same time, and sometimes not. And it's got this sometimes this neo-psych feel, which is that it's full of busy with lots of things going on, and it's got a kind of rolling feel, a feel of soundscapes in it. And is in some ways experimental. And I guess maybe the dream pop thing comes from the idea that they do at times get backing that is just this great big thick wash of stuff that's been produced in such a way that it feels like a felt curtain. Um, so uh, yeah, maybe some dream pop does that, but the vocals in dream pop are usually much more airy than they are here. Whether any of that actually really applies, because that's all my analysis and trying to pull it apart and trying to describe something that I find it hard to describe. It's definitely a musically interesting album, and it's all about textures and shifts. There's lots of guitar stuff, but there's lots of this multi-layered production. And I felt like with 2 listens, which is what I usually do, I barely started to really get to know it, which is, I guess, for me, is a good sign. It's the thing that makes me think, yeah, I could probably listen to this a few more times and still be finding new stuff and still kind of getting my head around it. Um, so What else can I say? So I'm going to pull out M62, which is a song that was recorded in Underpass, apparently under the M60, not the M62, so it's misnamed. And it's a lo-fi recording, which makes it unusual in the rest of the album, but it works in context. And there's a version of a song called "Moonchild" by King Crimson from the Court of Crimson King album, if my memory is right. And I like the fact that they're harking back to this old psychedelia stuff with the new psychedelia stuff. It is an album that I very much enjoy. If I was coming to this blind without knowing anything about it, and I kind of did on the first time, so I tend to do two listens, as I said. First listen without doing any reading, then do some reading, then do a second listen. I knew I'd come across Doves, but I couldn't remember where they were from. And when I was listening to this, I was thinking, are they from Manchester? It's got a bit of that kind of the neo-psych, but a bit of the Manchester feel to it as well. That from Chester, and that's not very far away from Manchester, I have to say. So I really liked it. It's musically and production-wise adventurous. It's inventive. It's quite unusual. It's confident in it, stepping out into these less charted waters. It did remind me of a thought that I had years ago, and stuck with me, that there seems to be no limit to the efforts that adventurous producers will go to get a sound. And it sounds like there's a lot of work going on here. So I think it's music you could drink hot chocolate to and get lost in. A pair of headphones and just bliss out. Um, what are the songs about? So I usually try and talk about what the songs are about on this album, as seems to be the case with a few albums at the moment. No clue. It felt quite secondary. Um, but yeah, my overall opinion is I enjoyed it. It's confident and it's curious. But that's my opinion, and I'd love to know what your opinion is. So if you would care to share that with me, I would be delighted. And the best way to do that is to write a comment in the comments box. But that's it from me for now.